My cousin falsely accused me of assaulting her at a family BBQ. My family abandoned me without hesitation. But when the truth came out 5 months later and Rachel lost everything, they learned blood doesn't buy loyalty. I'm 28 years old. I work at a logistics company, and I need to tell this story because what happened a few months ago basically destroyed my family and, honestly, I'm still processing everything. I guess I should start at the beginning, but the beginning is actually pretty boring. You know, normal family, Sunday barbecues, that kind of thing. What I do remember perfectly is the exact moment when everything went to hell, and it was because of a phone call from my cousin Rachel on a Tuesday afternoon. Let me give you some context first. My family was always one of those close families, or at least that's what I thought. My parents, my brother Aaron, who's 2 years older than me, my aunt Linda, who's my mom's sister, and Rachel, her daughter, who's like 26 years old. We grew up together, like we were close when we were kids, went to the same birthday parties, that kind of thing. When we became adults, we still saw each other at family gatherings. Nothing major, but there wasn't any drama. Either, you know what I mean? Rachel was always a bit intense, let's say. Like she needed to be the center of attention all the time, but I never thought she was a bad person or anything like that. I had been dating Vanessa for like 3 years at that point, and she's basically the best thing that's ever happened to me. We met at work, she's in human resources and I'm in the distribution department, and from day one, there was chemistry. She's one of those people who makes you feel like everything's gonna be okay, super supportive, always positive, but without being annoying. My family loved her, or at least that's what I thought. The thing is, there was a family barbecue last July, a normal Sunday, at my parents' house. It was hot as hell. I remember I brought beer, and Vanessa made her famous potato salad that everyone loves. Rachel was there with her boyfriend at the time. I don't remember his name, honestly. Kind of a boring guy. Everything went normally. We ate. We talked. My dad lit up the grill and burned the burgers like always. That kind of thing. I talked to Rachel maybe twice the entire afternoon. Super casual conversations like, "Hi, how are you? It's hot. Want another beer?" Nothing memorable. I left there around 8 at night because Vanessa had to work early the next day. We got to my apartment, watched a movie, went to sleep. Monday I went to work. Had a busy day with some delayed shipments. Came home tired. Tuesday, I was at my desk, reviewing some orders, when my phone rang. It was Rachel. I answered, and before I could say hello, she was crying, like sobbing uncontrollably. I asked her what was wrong, if she was okay, if she needed help, and she started screaming, how dare I ask her that I knew perfectly well what I had done. I was completely confused, literally had no idea what she was talking about. I said, "Rachel, seriously, I don't know what you're talking about. Calm down and explain to me what's going on." And then she dropped the bomb. She accused me of touching her inappropriately at the Sunday barbecue. I sat there with the phone in my hand, feeling like I'd been punched in the stomach. I told her she was crazy, that never happened, that we weren't even near each other for more than 5 minutes total during the entire afternoon. She kept crying and screaming. How could I deny her that I knew what I had done, that she felt disgusting and betrayed? I tried to reason with her, but it was impossible. So I told her this was insane, that I wasn't going to continue this conversation, and I hung up. My heart was racing like crazy. I got up from my desk and went to the bathroom because I literally felt like I was going to throw up. What just happened? I called Vanessa immediately and told her everything. She was in shock but believed me instantly. Told me Rachel was lying for some reason and that we needed to find out what was going on. I tried calling my mom, but she didn't answer. I sent her a text message saying I needed to talk to her urgently. Like 2 hours passed and nothing. Then I got a notification from the family WhatsApp group. Rachel had written a long message, super dramatic, saying she had been assaulted at the family barbecue, that the person who was supposed to protect her had betrayed her in the most horrible way, that she felt destroyed and needed time to process everything. She didn't mention me by name, but it was obvious she was talking about me. Messages started coming in immediately. My aunt Linda asking what had happened. My brother Aaron saying he couldn't believe what he was reading. My mom sending hearts to Rachel. I wrote in the chat saying that what Rachel was insinuating was completely false, that none of that happened, that we weren't even close during the barbecue. Rachel responded immediately, saying she couldn't believe I was denying her, that it made her feel worse. My Aunt Linda started attacking me directly, saying I was a monster. How dare I do that to her daughter? I tried to defend myself, but every message I sent seemed to make things worse. Then my mom called me. She was crying. She said, "Benjamin, tell me the truth. Did you do what Rachel says you did?" And I swore to her that I didn't, that it was an absolute lie, that she had to believe me. There was a long silence, and then she said, "I don't know what to believe. Benjamin, Rachel is devastated." Those words broke my heart. My own mother doubting me. I told her that if she didn't believe me, then we had nothing more to talk about, and I hung up. The next few days were a nightmare. My dad sent me a cold message saying I needed to give the family space until things cleared up. Aaron, my brother, sent me a text saying he didn't know what to think, but that he had to support the family in this moment. The only person who supported me unconditionally was Vanessa. She told me every day that she knew I was innocent, that the truth would come out eventually, that we had to be patient. But the truth is, I didn't know if it would come out. Rachel stayed firm in her story. She posted vague things on Facebook about trauma and family betrayal that her friends shared with hearts and supportive comments. My aunt, Linda, blocked me on all social media. My parents stopped answering my calls. It was like I had died to them, like I didn't exist anymore. I made the decision to cut ties with all of them. I sent them one last message to the family group saying that since they had decided to believe a liar instead of me, someone who had never given them reasons to doubt my character, then I no longer had a family. I left the group, blocked everyone except Vanessa, and decided to move on with my life. The first few months were tough. I'm not gonna lie. And there were days when I'd wake up, and the first thing I thought about was how unfair everything was. Vanessa convinced me to go to the gym to work out the frustration, and that helped a lot. I signed up at a CrossFit near my apartment and started going 5 times a week. I also reconnected with some college friends I had stopped seeing because I was always with my family on weekends. We'd go out for beers, play video games, normal things that made me feel like a person again. At work, I focused more than ever. They gave me a promotion in September. Nothing big, but they raised my salary and gave me more responsibilities. Vanessa and I started talking about moving in together to a bigger apartment. Life went on, I guess. Although there was always that feeling of something missing, you know what I mean? Like a background pain that never completely went away, like 5 months passed. It was December. It was cold. And I was at the gym on a Wednesday night when I got a Facebook notification. It was a message from Rachel. My first instinct was to delete it without reading it, but curiosity got the better of me. I opened it. The message was long. It started with, "Benjamin, I need to talk to you. What follows is going to be difficult to read, but I need to tell you. I lied. Nothing I said happened. You didn't touch me. You didn't do anything inappropriate. I made it all up. I don't know why I did it. I was in a very dark place at that time. My relationship was bad. I felt invisible in the family, and I guess I needed attention. I know there's no excuse for what I did. I destroyed your life and isolated you from your family because of a lie. I don't expect you to forgive me, but I needed you to know the truth. I'm so sorry." I stood there in the middle of the gym, reading and rereading the message. People around me were lifting weights and running on treadmills, and I was having an internal breakdown. 5 months. 5 months of my life destroyed by a lie. And now just, "I'm so sorry." Really? I didn't respond to her. I put away my phone and left the gym. I called Vanessa from the parking lot and read her the message. She was silent for a moment, and then said, "I knew it. I always knew." She was lying. I'm so angry right now. I didn't tell my family anything. If Rachel wanted to admit her lie, she could do it herself. A week passed. Then my mom called me. I answered after 5 rings. She was crying, saying, "Benjamin, I'm so sorry. Rachel told us the truth. She lied to all of us. I can't believe I doubted you. Please forgive me." I didn't say anything for a moment, just listened to her crying. Then I told her, Mom, when I needed you to believe in me the most, when I needed my own mother to support me, you decided to believe Rachel. That's not going to be forgotten easily. She tried to explain herself, but I told her I needed time, and I hung up. After that, the calls started. Aaron wrote me a super long message apologizing, saying he had been a coward, that he should have supported me from the beginning. My dad called me crying, something I had never seen, telling me he was the worst father in the world. How could he have doubted his own son? I even got a message from my Aunt Linda, though that one was less convincing, basically saying that Rachel had admitted the truth but without really apologizing to me directly. The weird thing is, I didn't feel the satisfaction I thought I would feel. Yes, I had been vindicated. The truth had come out, but the damage was already done, you know? Those 5 months weren't coming back. The trust I had in my family was broken. I couldn't just forget that they had all abandoned me when I needed them most. Vanessa told me I should consider giving them another chance, that they were my family after all, that people make mistakes. And she was right, I guess, but I was also really angry still. I decided to respond to Aaron first because we were always close. We met for coffee in January. It was awkward at first. Neither of us really knew what to say. He apologized like 1,000 times, said he had been an idiot, that he should have trusted me. I told him I appreciated the apology, but that it was going to take time to rebuild trust. He understood. With my parents, it was more complicated. I invited them to dinner at my apartment in February. Vanessa cooked because she knew if I did it, I'd burn everything from stress. It was a tense dinner, lots of awkward silence, superficial conversations about work and weather. My mom kept apologizing every 5 minutes until I told her that was enough, that I had heard her apologies, and now we needed to move forward. My dad barely spoke. I could see he was destroyed inside about what had happened. I made it clear to them that things weren't going to go back to how they were before, that we could rebuild a relationship, but it was going to be different, on my terms. They accepted, said they would do whatever was necessary. I told them that meant accepting that Vanessa and I were a package deal, that she was my priority now, and that if ever, they doubted me again without reason, it was over forever. They understood. Meanwhile, I found out from my cousin, Chase, the only one who had sent me a neutral message during all the drama saying he didn't know what to think but wished me the best, that Rachel's life had gone to hell. Apparently, after admitting the lie, her boyfriend left her immediately. Her group of friends abandoned her when they found out she had lied about something so serious. She lost her job. I think she worked at a clothing store or something like that, because her bosses found out about the drama and considered her a liability. And the strongest thing? My Aunt Linda kicked her out of the house. Chase told me that Linda was ashamed of her own daughter, that she couldn't believe Rachel had made up something like that and destroyed the family. I'm not going to lie, part of me felt a dark satisfaction hearing all that. Rachel had destroyed my life with a lie, and now her own life was in ruins. But another part of me just felt empty, you know? Because at the end of the day, this whole situation was unnecessary. If Rachel was going through something, if she needed help or attention, there were 1,000 ways to get it without falsely accusing me of something so serious. Chase told me that Rachel tried to contact him to ask for money, that she was living with a friend in a horrible apartment and barely had enough to eat. He told her no, that she had to face the consequences of her actions. He also told me that at a recent family dinner, which obviously I wasn't invited to because I still wasn't ready for that, Rachel tried to show up and Linda told her she wasn't welcome, not until she really understood the magnitude of what she had done. Today we're in March. It's been like 8 months since the barbecue. I see Aaron every 2 weeks or so, usually for lunch near my work. We talk about normal things, work, sports, his plans to marry his girlfriend. We don't mention much about what happened unless it's necessary. With my parents, I keep in touch, but it's limited. Maybe one dinner a month, occasional calls. The relationship still feels fragile, like we're walking on eggshells all the time. With my Aunt Linda, I haven't spoken. I have no interest. And Rachel, well, I blocked her message and haven't heard more from her directly. Chase keeps me updated from time to time. Says she's going to therapy now, that she's trying to get better. But honestly, I don't care. She made her bed, and now she has to sleep in it. Vanessa and I moved in together in January to a 2-bedroom apartment. We adopted a dog, a golden retriever named Max, and honestly, that dog has done more for my mental health than any family apology. I'm in a good place now, I guess, or at least a better place. I have the woman I love, I have my job, I have some loyal friends, and I've learned to live without needing my family's validation. What bothers me most when I think about all this isn't so much that Rachel lied, although obviously that's horrible, but that my family abandoned me so easily. That's what really hurts. That they didn't trust me enough to at least doubt the accusation, to at least ask for my side before condemning me. And yes, they've apologized. And yes, I'm trying to rebuild the relationships, but there's a part of me that's never going to forget those 5 months when they left me alone. Last week, my mom asked me if I would consider going to a family gathering at Easter. I told her I'd think about it. Vanessa says I should go, that it would be good for me, that forgiveness is important to move forward. She's probably right. But it's also okay if I decide I'm not ready, you know? Because this is my life now, rebuilt after they destroyed it, and I have to protect it. I guess if there's any lesson in all this, it's that family isn't unbreakable just because you share blood. Trust is earned and can be lost, and sometimes when it breaks, it can't be repaired completely. But I also learned who's really there for me when everything falls apart, and that's Vanessa. She never doubted. Not for a second. And that's worth more than any family apology. So that's enough for now, I guess.